Thank you all for coming out here. Long trip, I know, so thank you all. It's great to have all of you here. I'm going to read from the sheets. It's a little embarrassing to watch me do this, so try not to laugh. Feel free to laugh, it's fine. My friendship with Neil goes back about a decade. In early fall of 1999, some complete idiot, for all intents and purposes, gave me a $1.5 million piece of property with a 3-story duplex right in the middle of Cambridge. Yes, there were some slightly suspicious circumstances, and I didn't have a place to live at the time, so I asked very few questions. It rarely had heat. It had questionable plumbing, 150-year-old electrical outlets, a floor made almost completely out of splinters. It had enough animals in the walls to fill an ark. When I first moved in, I had to sleep in the kitchen with the oven on to stay warm. Someone broke in once, and I had to fight him off with a soup pan that I stole from my mother's house. But my rent was $6 a month, so, you know, the price was right. It was there where I met a man whom a few of us owe a giant debt of gratitude. Without him, I would have never lived with Jules, and thus would have never met Neil and Jen. And Sean, well, he would have just had no place to go for a few years. This man's name was Dan. Dan was 2 things. He was a drug dealer and a complete retard. 2 things that seldom coexist without consequences. And rarely do they ever bring benefits to all. Not so with retard Dan. Dan was caught during a walkthrough of our house by the owners and with potential buyers, cutting up a plethora of drugs in a mattress in the basement. Retard Dan had, single-handedly, black flagged our home into real estate abyss, extending our stay there from 3 months to over 4 years. And promoting me from current resident to superintendent with my newfound authority, I took to giving myself a little company. Page 2. And what has since then been simply and affectionately known as Prospect Street was born. And that's where our story begins. Under a stiff recommendation from Jules, I had agreed to move in Neil and Jen. Neil and I took to each other immediately, like 2 kids on a playground, recognizing each other's kindred spirit by the amount of mud on the other. I remember the look on Neil's face when he realized that I was the only authority on the premises. Absolutely thrilled. Jen, not so much. I found myself in Neil school almost immediately. Neil school is exactly like normal school, except there was no classes and no teachers or books or any real concept of time. Immediately, and with little to no regard for safety precautions, plans were hatched, schematics were drawn up, and a strict curriculum emerged. And of course, an inventory list was fabricated and realized. Slingshot, check. Potato gun, check. Baby pool, check. Bacardi 151, check. Wholesale movie candy, bongos, PlayStation drumsticks, ramen noodles, throwing knives, check. Yeah. At the time, I had recently stolen someone else's girlfriend, who, as it turned out, had both the IQ and emotional capacity of an autistic donkey.
True story.
So I felt perfectly fine ignoring her for Cadogan class. And I was, at the time, drawing comic books, so I was pretty much unemployed and had some time on my hands to commit to my newfound education. Professor Neil had, just before his arrival, in what turned out to be a spectacularly brave and ingenious move, pulled his life into a full, screeching tractor-trailer U-turn, the crowning achievement of which was picking up little Jen along the way. All the while, he was relentlessly, day after excruciating day, stomping off to Kinko's, where he was abusing company resources, time and money, to not only draw cartoons, but to ignore clients. And in that, began laying the groundwork for the foundation of Hemlock Inc. These 2 fine examples were the first lessons I learned in Neil School, lessons which I try to live by. Number 1, bold moves are the best moves. You will fear nothing. Except Jen. We always fear Jen. Number 2, make a plan and chase it like a rabid greyhound. Persistence and dedication to a chosen course. unless that course involves a samurai sword and a bum constantly pooping in your bushes, and half-assing it and giving up when the sword breaks is fine. There are many fundamentals and regulations to Neil School. These are just a few that I learned most earnestly. Number 3, never pelt an ambulance with assorted movie theater candy without an excuse ready. Number 4, some cars are perfectly drivable without brakes. Number 5, unending maniacal laughter is a perfectly acceptable stress reliever. Number 6, there is no level of terrible day that cannot be overcome by a knife-wielding killing spree in Call of Duty. Approach all tasks with passion and intensity. If you're going to fail at something, please do it at a full sprint. That one was number 7. Number 8, potato guns only need a tiny, absolutely minute, incredibly minuscule amount of hairspray. And they are always to be aimed at public schools and not at garage doors or anything else that has a pulse. Number 9, Bacardi 151 is only to be used for blowing fireballs off the porch, not for actual drinking. Number 10, and despite previous example of it working out for the greater good, we will not sell drugs in the basement. All jokes aside, in case you didn't know, Neil is an absolute genius. I've seen him play the most complicated drum set I have ever heard while simultaneously drinking a beer, having a conversation, and watching TV. It's much different than my own percussion scales, which sounds a lot like a drunk gorilla pounding on a barn. Find my spot here. I lost it. Neil's also an exceptional artist, although he would never admit it. I flagrantly use many of Neil's visionary drawings and ideas for my own purposes, often passing off their genius of my own. Neil's passion for life, though, is where his true genius resides. It, like his laughter, is infectious. Fun is like his oxygen, and he breathes that into us all. We have all been affected by his savant-like behavior and have all lived our lives just a little bit brighter because of him. And that is his true gift to us all, his happiness. It is for this and many other gifts that we all, especially me, owe him a debt of gratitude that we can never truly repay. And to the generator, you are one of the smartest, most compassionate, amazing, and truly magnanimous human beings left on this earth. I've recently found a truly amazing girl myself, and please know I'll be holding her up to the amazing Jen template. A little more. Give me a second. All right. Take care of my boy. He needs it sometimes, like we all do. And thank you for your endless tolerance in me torturing your pets and messing up your furniture, being on your toilet seat, and eating every single thing in your home on upwards of 1,000 different occasions. Here's to 1,000 more. To Neil and Jen, to their love and dedication to each other, and may your future endeavors bring you the same happiness that you have brought to all of us. Cheers.